Ever imagine a world where just wanting to be a doctor could put you right in the middle of a riot?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Sophia Jex-Blake faced, trying to open medicine up to women.
Wow.
So this deep dive takes us way back to 19th century Britain
Okay.
to explore her just amazing journey,
hmm
the challenges, and really her lasting legacy.
You know, what's really striking about Sophia's story is that her fight for equality, it wasn't just, in medicine. It was
Okay.
like woven into her whole life, even for when she was little.
Yeah, and we're talking Victorian England here. I
Right.
mean, a time when what women were supposed to do was so limited.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see this young Sophia just bursting with energy
Yeah.
and this thirst for knowledge, always pushing against those boundaries.
Totally. You can really see it in her childhood. The whole intricate world she created, Sacramento. It wasn't just kid stuff.
Yeah.
It had laws, maps, everything.
Wow.
Almost like foreshadowing how ambitious and meticulous she'd become.
It's like she was practicing for the real fight ahead of her.
Yeah.
And then there's what happened when her dad didn't approve of her paid tutoring.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, instead of just backing down, she argued for fair treatment and equal opportunities, no matter your gender.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That really shows a key part of who Sophia was, that deep sense of justice,
Uh-huh.
and how willing she was to challenge authority. This wasn't just, teenage rebellion.
Right.
This was a core value for her, shaped her whole life.
And it wasn't even just about school stuff.
Right.
I mean, her being open about being attracted to women, especially back then, incredibly brave.
Sure.
It shows just how much she wanted to be true to herself, no matter what society said.
Absolutely. Forming those deep friendships, maybe even romantic, in that climate, took guts. She really defied all the expectations, made her own path.
So we see this unconventional spirit in her, this drive to learn, even as a kid. But it was a trip across the Atlantic that sparked her passion for medicine.
That trip was huge. Meeting Dr. Lucy Sewell, a successful female physician at the New England Hospital for Women and Children, that was a revelation for Sophia. Just imagine seeing a woman thriving in a field that was supposed to be off limits.
Yeah, it was been so inspiring, especially then when women doctors were basically unheard of.
Right.
That's what planted the seed for her own ambitions.
It did more than plant a seed. It set her on an unwavering course. She even said, "Were I not a teacher, I would be a doctor if I could."
Wow.
That shows you the impact Dr. Sewell had.
So from that point on, her path was clear. She knew what she wanted, and even though she knew there'd be huge obstacles, she was determined to make it happen.
Exactly. But it's important to remember her path wasn't like a straight shot to success.
Right.
Constant setbacks. She had to fight for every little bit of progress.
Yeah, like what happened with Harvard Medical School.
Oh, yeah.
Being denied over and over just because she was a woman must have been so discouraging.
It really shows you the barriers women faced back then, especially in science. Yeah.
But instead of giving up, she went public, challenged their policies, made people see how unfair it was.
It seems like she always found a way to turn those setbacks into, opportunities for change.
Exactly. She wouldn't be silenced.
Yeah.
And, while she was in New York taking on Harvard, she met another amazing woman, Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell, the first woman to graduate from medical school in the U.S.
Wow. What a meeting. I bet they had some incredible conversations, sharing strategies and everything.
Oh, for sure. And with Dr. Blackwell's help, Sophia actually set up an anatomy class just for women.
That's amazing.
Shows how proactive she was. Not waiting around, but creating her own chances.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, how even with these successes, life threw her a curveball. Her father passing away must have been devastating.
It was, made her really reevaluate things.
Yeah.
But even with that grief, she never gave up on medicine.
That shows how strong her belief was. Even in the toughest times, she held on to that vision. And we can't forget Dr. Sewell. She never stopped supporting Sophia's dream. Their friendship was something else. They wanted to open a practice together, Their letters show how much they understood and respected each other's goals.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how powerful female friendship can be, especially back then, when women were often made to compete with each other.
So when she went back to Britain, she set her sights on Edinburgh. But this time, it wasn't a solo mission.
Right. This is where the Edinburgh Seven come in. An amazing group of women who joined forces to fight the university's policies, a turning point in the fight for women in medicine.
You'd think wanting to learn would be simple,
Right.
but the pushback they got, Unbelievable.
It really shows how deep the misogyny ran back then.
Yeah.
Just them being there caused petitions, legal battles, even a riot.
The Surgeons Hall riot, a mob trying to stop them from going to class?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine facing that just to get an education.
It was terrifying. They were harassed, yelled at. Someone even let a sheep loose in the classroom.
What?
But crazy as it sounds, that awful event actually helped them. All the media attention it got, it made people sympathize with them, showed everyone how ridiculous and unfair the whole thing was.
So by standing their ground, they actually changed public opinion.
Exactly. Sometimes even the worst situations can lead to progress.
It's amazing. And they didn't just get in, they excelled. Some were even top of their class,
Yeah.
proving everyone wrong who thought women weren't smart enough.
It was a big win. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to change the university's mind. They kept putting up roadblocks, made it clear women weren't truly welcome.
Like what kinds of roadblocks? It seems like they already went through so much just to get their foot in the door.
Well, for one, they were denied resources. Edith Pitchey, one of the 7, she ranked 3rd in her chemistry class, but they wouldn't give her the scholarship that would have let her use the lab for free.
Oh, wow.
They said it was because the women weren't real students.
It's just infuriating. Different standards, even though they were proving themselves.
And it got worse. The university made it almost impossible for them to find teachers for their women-only classes.
So basically, they had to create their own whole separate system.
Right.
Pay more, get teachers from outside the university.
Exactly. They had to be so resourceful just to get the education they deserved. And then there's the issue of clinical experience. Actually working with patients. Crucial for training.
They weren't allowed in the Royal Infirmary, right?
Another deliberate attempt to block them. Without that experience, they couldn't graduate.
So frustrating. All that talent and passion constantly being pushed aside.
It's remarkable how resilient they were.
It's just unbelievable how determined they were to keep women out of medicine. But Sophia, she didn't just sit around waiting. She took action on like every front.
While that legal battle was dragging on, she actually co-founded the London School of Medicine for Women in 1874.
Wow.
That wasn't just her being committed, it was strategic too.
Yeah, realizing that change in those old institutions, it would take forever. So she built a whole new path for women who wanted to be doctors. So smart.
It was. Even if they had to rely on male professors at first, it gave women a chance right away.
So she's fighting the system in court and at the same time building a new one.
Exactly. And her efforts, along with so many other people fighting for this, finally led to a big win in 1876, the Medical Act.
Okay. And this didn't, immediately open all the doors.
Yeah.
But it was huge progress, right?
Oh, yeah. Before this, lots of universities had rules that specifically said no women. This new law, it gave them the choice to admit women if they wanted.
Got it.
It got rid of that legal barrier, made way for real change.
And really important, it meant women who trained in other countries could finally practice in Britain. What a relief for them after all that resistance they faced here.
Absolutely, a total game changer. Sophia Edith Pache, for example, they got their degrees from a school in Switzerland, took their exams in Dublin, and finally they could practice in their own country.
After years of fighting, they were finally recognized.
Yeah, and Sophia, she didn't waste any time. In 1878, she opened her own practice in Edinburgh, worked there for over 20 years.
It's kind of poetic, isn't it? Building her practice in the city that tried so hard to shut her out.
Right, talk about resilience. And she didn't stop there. She founded the Edinburgh Hospital for Women and Children in 1885 and the Edinburgh School of Medicine for Women just a year later.
So she wasn't just happy being a doctor herself. She wanted to make sure other women could follow her for generations to come.
Exactly. And through all of this, her personal relationships, they were so important to her. Her friendship with Dr. Lucy Sewell, even though they didn't get to practice together in the end, it just shows the power of shared dreams and supporting each other.
It's really heartwarming to see how close they stayed, even across the ocean.
Yeah. And then there's Margaret Todd. She came into Sophia's life a bit later, but she became much more than just a colleague.
That's a really interesting one, especially for that time period.
Margaret was a writer and a doctor, too. She believed in the same things as Sophia, medicine and women's rights.
Yeah.
She became a close friend and a companion. Eventually, Margaret even left medicine to be with Sophia when she retired.
Sounds like they really found something special. A life together full of intellectual stuff and shared passions.
And Sophia's retirement? It was spent at Windydyne, a farm. She loved gardening, raising animals, having her friends and former students over.
I love that image. This woman who fought so hard, finding peace and happiness in nature, with people she loved.
And even in retirement, her story continued to spread. Margaret Todd wrote Sophia's biography, published after she died. It made sure Sophia's legacy wouldn't be forgotten.
A perfect tribute to a woman who spent her whole life opening doors for others.
Sophia Jex-Blake's story, it really teaches us about the power of perseverance, of passion, and believing that you can change things.
She was a true pioneer, opened the way for so many women in medicine. Maybe not everyone knows her name, but her impact is undeniable.
Absolutely. So as you think about her life, consider this. What can we learn from how she tackled those huge barriers? How can we be as determined as she was? Make change not just for ourselves, but for everyone.
That's a powerful question. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the life of Sophia Jex-Blake. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep working for a better world.